Welcome to the win. And yes, we've had a win. We defeated the Parramatta Eels yesterday out there at Accor Stadium. It's Indigenous round, and I was out there. We're going to go through the game. We're going to look at some stuff that happened out there at the ground. We're going to cover the New South Wales Cup, the flag, a bit of the captain's run. But, yeah, it was nice to get the win. 42 points to 26. 7 tries to 5. And before we have a look at that, this is an interactive show, so comments will be featured on the screen. The best ones, that is. And here is Keon Edits, and he says, "Hey, Mavo, hey to you, mate." And Keon, well, didn't he have some sort of a game? He won the Eric Sims medal for best player on the ground, and well-deserved. And speaking of the Sims family, this painting here behind me has been painted by the very talented Jacqueline Sims, who is related to Eric, and she is the wife of Jeffrey Ducker. And, yeah, so we just put that up because it's Indigenous round and because Jacqueline's a legend, and shout out to you and the family. So thanks for that comment. Good start, Keon Edits, even though that's a Knights player there. I'm not sure what's going on there. KC Sullo has joined us and said, "Let's go." Hello, mate. How you going? And another young fella here, Chris Cook, says, "Glory, glory. Great atmosphere out there last night. So good to have a win, Mavo. Keon, Kepi, Mawali, all enormous." Well, I have got their names written down here. And Jimmy's had a comment. Hi, he went to the game. That's good, mate. And Chris has already jumped in and said, "Full strength, what's the back line?" Maybe Gray at the back, AJ, Campbell, Whiten, Munro, Trell, Cody. It's not too bad, is it? Not going to argue with that. And we're going to look at that later too, because Ben Hornby said he loved seeing Trell Mitt at 5'8". And didn't we all? Love seeing him terrorise the opposition, putting little kicks in, putting bombs up that couldn't be caught. I can see why he wants to put him there. Mick Tasker says, "Hi, Mavo. It was good to see you out there last night, and it's always better the day after a win." Oh, it certainly is. And I did spend some time in the burrow in the second half with the boys, and I've got some video to show you of that too. I've got a few videos. It's a big show. Got some photos to show you. So just stand by, and we'll get to it all. Just get rid of Mick's comment there. Yeah, so, well, like I said, 7 tries to 5. And the highlight for me was, because it's Indigenous round, Nathan Merritt being on the field for the Rabbitohs, doing the lap of honour. And I made sure I was there when they walked past, and I filmed a bit of it. I put a bit of it up on the socials, but for those that haven't seen it, it's worth another look. And also, my good mate, Chunky Lyons, walks past as well. West. Chunk. How are you, Ledge? Cool, bro. You all right? Good to see you. Righto. Hey, good, mate. I'm good. Dan. Yeah, it was. Diggy! The great man. Mero. Hey, mate. Good to see you out on the field again. Good legend. And also a few youngsters there that went past at the end. And there was also Dan Allende and Wes Patton. And, yeah, so it was just good to catch up with those guys. There's also, let me turn that up a bit. There was also, I went for a bit of a walk around, and I was filming the boys playing the didgeridoo, and then the Eels astronaut wandered into the frame. That's all right. Cool. So he left the ground disappointed, and but yeah, there was a few funny moments on the night. So let's get into the game. And David Gardner's sent me a comment all the way over there from New Zealand. He said, "Hey, Mavo, good win last night. Trell played well at 5'8". Well, yeah, he did. I mean, we were all over the place. We had head bins and a couple of. So we had to change positions. Cookie ended up in the centres. AJ at the back, but it's going to be interesting. And here's Dion Sang, Go the Rabbitohs boys. Hello, Dion. Yeah, she's always active on Twitter, or also known as X. So yeah, I do see a lot of your tweets there. And she says, "Keep up the good work, boys. South Sydney till I die. Glory, glory." And Clay Ives has jumped on. Hello, mate. He said, "I knew we'd win by a big margin. Loved it." Well, confidence there. We weren't the favourites. But it was just when we got out to like an 18-point lead, I just thought, well, what's going on here? This ain't the Rabbitohs I'm used to seeing this year. Like I said, it's the first time we've scored 40 points all year. It's the first time we've scored more than 30 points all year. Although we did leak 26 points, which is still a bit of a worry, but we are improving. Coach Hornby said it in the presser. There's signs of improvement, and we've had a win. We've had our second win for the year. So we can't complain about that. Let's go. It was a good show. Really great and fun. Yes, Jimmy. And Chris, I haven't mentioned it yet, but Dion's first try was a classic. Neon. So there's no better introduction to put up my first pick of the day. And it's just off the scoreboard, but there he is. Neon Dion Tiapa. And I did speak to Coach Hornby about him, and he said, I said, what advice have you given him? And he said, well, I'm just telling him to be a bit more assertive, to run the ball a bit more. And that's what he did. Got the ball, a bit of show and go, beat a tackle and scored his first try in the NRL. And I did have a little chat to him last night and congratulated him. And he said, hopefully there's many more to come. So, yeah, that's very, very true. Trell Metz. And like I said, I did spend some time in the burrow, and I did enjoy this little tune. Trell Metz, 3 try assists. And like I said, some great bombs in his 70 minutes on the field. The floater bomb at the end for the Keon try, it had Blaze Talangi all over the shop. It was just uncatchable. So if he plays 5'8", we might see more of that. It's a bit like a Matt Burton type bomb the big fella puts up. And, yeah, so that was exciting. Like I said, Ben Hornby, it's going to be an interesting team list Tuesday, what he ends up doing. But like I said, he was on 70 minutes. He was off for 10 minutes. He got sin bin for a hip drop. Now, we at the ground, I watched the replay when I got home. They're talking about it on the Footy show. How did Latrell get 10 minutes for the hip drop tackle? Second half, Joe Offengowie does it as well, but doesn't go to the sin bin. They both went on report, but he doesn't go to the sin bin. There's got to be an investigation. Referee, Chris Butler, what is doing? Please. I mean, it's unbelievable, really, because that could have cost us. At the time, it was like the game was quite close. And in the bunker was a gentleman called Wyatt Raymond. Well, Wyatt? Why? Can anyone in the chat tell me the reasoning behind this? It's just, anyway, I couldn't believe it. It doesn't make sense. You can't send one guy for the same thing and then second half it's like, oh, no, what's Joe a good bloke or something? Or Joe feigned an injury when he did it, or I can't understand it. I've just, anyway, CJ Moxley. Hello, mate. Good to see you out there last night. He said, Keon and Kepi were enormous. Yes, they were. And Latrell, one of the top players on the ground for sure. Yes, he was. And here we go. The sin bin was a joke. Yet a player does it and nothing. Reminds me of Val and Clemmer one on Friday. So there you go. It's controversial. I think those officials should be having a run in reserve grade next week. That's all I can say. There's no other reason for what they came up with. Referee Butler didn't really give us a lot of things our way. In the end, it didn't matter. But like I said, and welcome to Michelle Tooney, and she's just donated $79.99 in the chat. So thank you very much, Michelle. You're a legend. I didn't see you and Nola out there last night. I did see that you're over in the members area, and there's some sort of Lebanese members only place there, and you're raving about it. So I almost wanted to just walk over there just to go and try some of the falafel and all the meat. It looked really nice. But Travels with Michelle, she is one of the best travel agents in the business. If you want to go on a cruise, speak to Michelle. She'll sort you out. She is an absolute legend. Now, back to Chrissy Cook, and he sent me a photo of him out there last night. He was enjoying the game. Trell fined and Joe got nothing. No charge. There is no consistency. We had a couple of rough calls. We had to dig deep. So, yeah, how did he get – I don't understand. And then if anything, the Latrell one, there were circumstances where I think Hosty come over and he sort of got pushed down. There was hardly anything in it. Whereas Offengowie, that was a copybook, hip drop, boom, drops the body, big body on the legs, very dangerous. I don't know. I still – it's unbelievable. And Michelle has said, great show. Sorry, fat thumbs. That's all right. No worries. And she said, great food. So, yeah, it looked nice up there. So there's a reason to be a member of the Rabbitohs. It's only, there's a lot of cheaper membership options. You can be a ticketed member or just be a member that doesn't have a seat. But there's a lot of privileges that are involved with that. So, yeah. And Jimmy said something about the ref that I probably won't share. It was unbelievable. Now, there's a lot to get through, like I said. And the other big story was this bloke here. Hang on. We'll get rid of the great food. Although I'm sure AJ would enjoy it as well. Alex Johnston scored his 190th try in the NRL. And it was a good one too. He had to do a bit. So for those saying, he just catches the ball and puts it down, he had to, use his pace. He only just got there. He had a defender coming across, and it was just copybook AJ. And now he is equal with the great Billy Slater on 190 tries. Sensational. They're equal second all time. And now it's on to the great Ken Irvine on 212. But I just have got another little picture here of AJ, though I shared my graphic again. It was ready to go. So when he scored it, I put this straight up. Similar to that, not that actual one, but yeah, Alex Johnson 190, Billy Slater 190. So two legendary players are on the same amount now. And AJ just needs one more to go into second on his own and put Billy into third. I saw Billy on the Footy show this morning, and they asked him about would he coach NRL. He said, no, I'm coach of Queensland. I don't think he's leaving that job anytime soon, as you wouldn't. Yeah. So, AJ, congratulations. Perfect stuff. Did enjoy that. We did speak about Dion, but yeah, your first try in the NRL, you'll never forget it. So congrats on that too, mate. Now on to Keon. Keon Koloamatangi. And there he is. He's getting the Eric Sims medal from some of the family members, and Mero's involved there. What a great sight seeing a smiling Nathan Merritt out on the field for the club. Brilliant stuff. Keon, 2 tries, 23 runs for 231 metres. Thanks very much. 93 post-contact metres and 9 tackle busts. I was standing next to Josh Kemp in the burrow, and late in the game he said, Keon will be man of the match. And I said, yeah, I think he probably will be too. Then he scores that late try right in front of us. I said, he'll definitely get it now. And he definitely did. Shout out to Dad Izzy. I know you'd be proud of your boy getting man of the match, but his Parramatta Eels suffered their 5th loss in a row. So it was mixed emotions for the big fella there. That was good. We'll just go through a few of the players that I thought were good. And Travels with Michelle has prompted me into that. So this is a good segue into what Travels Michelle Cheney said. Best Keon has played for a while. So good to see. Well, it has. It's the best. A few of them have played for a while. And, that's what we want them to start finding a bit of form, and wins might start coming. And I just missed this comment from Michelle. She said, the NRL is so inconsistent, and they wonder why fans get frustrated. He will come out with the same BS on Monday defending bad decisions. So I'd love to see how, is it Bill Annesley? Is it that the referee's boss? I'd love to see him defend that decision that was made on the field, because you can't defend the indefensible. I mean, it's cut and dried. One guy gets a hip drop, goes in the sin bin, on report. Another guy does exactly the same thing. Oh, no, you're right. Play on. So that gives that Eels a huge leg up. I mean, we did well to survive without Latrell for 10 minutes. But anyway, I don't know. And here's Paul Cullen, PC, and he says, hi, Mavo. So happy. And so am I, mate. The Wagga Whiz. Shout out to you, champion. He's a channel member. He supports the show on Bunnies TV. Loves the Rabbits, as we all do. Now, like I said, Michelle just said Keon, best game for a while. I've got Jai Arrow, first try scorer. I bet he spoiled a few first try bets out there, but doesn't matter. He played well. Davey Mawale, he was at the Jersey Flegg game that we filmed, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that later. He was at the Flegg games supporting the boys, and he come out and had a big game, ran for big meters. Sean Kepi was probably his best game in the red and green, scored a try, pushing through on the kick from that man, Cookie, who was all over the place, scored a try too, put it on the toe. So there were some good performances throughout the team. Jackie Whiten, I thought, was excellent. Hope you're okay, mate. He copped the knock and he failed his HIA, which was a bit of a worry at the time, which also forced this reshuffle that saw Latrell go into 5'8". But the highlight for me was when he kicked long and chased it and tackled the bloke, grassed him in the in goal. Didn't you enjoy that? And that's the sort of effort that Jack Whiten brings. It's his 251 NRL game, but he's not resting on his laurels. He's not sitting back and letting someone else make that tackle. He's kicking and he's chasing and he's making tackles like that. So that's what we're going to get from blokes like Jack. And that inspires the team when they see that too. And here's Boo Carnes jumped on. He said Fittler was ahead of his time playing Cookie at centre. He was good there. Also, Trell's kicking game was the difference last night. There you go. He kicks long, good. He kicks short, good. And he kicks high, good. So there's a trifecta that this is what Ben Hornby's going to have to think about when he picks the team. You know, like we need someone that's doing that. And if Latrell's doing it at 5'8", then, like I said, put AJ back at the back. Maybe when Jai Gray gets back, he can go back there. We've got some troops coming back, hopefully. We've got the bye now. We've got 2 weeks off he's got 2 weeks to think about his decisions, Ben Hornby. But he was smiling last night, and then Latrell was in the presser. It was they quite enjoyed themselves, and Latrell spoke about how he loves Indigenous round, and so do I. It's a way to celebrate our Indigenous culture in this country, and for everyone to get involved. And he's proud of his heritage, and so he should be. And here's Michelle's saying what I said. How do you think Trell would go at 5'8"? Would Cody go to half? Well, I think that's what's going to happen. They even talked about Origin. So Cody's got to be able to run tomorrow to be available for Origin selection, I think. And I'm not sure that's going to happen because he has just missed out with an injury to his calf. So I suspect he might get ruled out, but don't quote me on that because he's in contention because we are short in the halves. I think we lost Nico Hines. We've got no Nathan Cleary. So we're a bit thin in selections, and Cody was there last year and played well. So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting thing, and hopefully he is fit. And like Ben Hornby said it, I know I'm referring back to the presser, but I did watch it, and he said, I expect Cody and Latrell to be in the Blues team. Why wouldn't you have two of the best players in the game playing if they're available? Especially Latrell. I mean, I think Michael Shamus on the Footy show this morning said that Latrell's an outsider, and he tossed up a few other names. There's no way I'd be putting them in front of Latrell in the centres. Let me tell you right now. If I was Queensland, I'd be praying they don't pick him because we all know what he can do. He's the reigning. Him and Jack Whiten are the World Cup final winning centres, and that was not even 12 months ago. So I think he'd go good, to answer your question with a long-winded answer, Michelle Cheney, travels with Michelle. I think he'd go good, and yes, maybe Cody at half. But at the moment, Dion played quite well last night. Like I said, he's growing in confidence. We know what he can do. He can take on the line, and he's got a good kicking game. He kicked the goals too. He's versatile. The Maroubra Lions Junior. So interesting. It's a good selection headache for Ben Hornby to have if he's got a certain amount of players that can all do the job in different positions, and that's going to happen as we get troops back, sort of thing. So if Cody's available in 2 weeks, I suspect Neon Dion will go back to, maybe on the extended bench or coming off the bench. I'm not sure how that's going to work. But, yeah, Neon Dion, he finally lived up to his name, and I gave him that name just jokingly after the great primetime Deion Sanders, the NFL star who also played baseball. He was a freakish athlete, and so was our Dion, because you saw there, he's not there for no reason. He's been in our system for a long time because he can play, and he showed us there that, he's not afraid to take the line on, and he's elusive. So congrats again to Dion. And Boo Khan, he said, I think Trell spoke well last night after the game in the presser. Yeah, he did. You could see he was happy, and, good on him, because he's been under a lot of pressure as Trell met. And so was everyone. So was Coach Hornby, and he was smiling, and I was smiling watching it. The fans are smiling. Everyone's smiling today because there's nothing better, like Mick Tasker said, nothing better than the day after a win. You get up, you have a cuppa, and you can watch the results, and your team's won. It doesn't matter what the others have done. We are still last on the ladder, but I had a look. The team's running about 8 through have had 6 wins. We've had 2. So that doesn't mean if we go on a run, we can't get there. We're going to have to get going. We've got to beat the Titans in a fortnight's time up there at the Goldie. It's a 3:00 Saturday, the 8th of June game. And Chris has said, he said, I think he played hooker for Tonga. Yeah, he did. I think he came off the bench, I think, for Tonga. So he's an international. But more importantly, he's a tremendous young fella, is our Dion. And, I've got a lot of time for him, and I'm really happy that he scored his first try. He's made his debut, and a few games later, scores a meat pie. Come on. Thank you very much. And Chris Cook said, I thought Pete did a good job at hooker when he came on too. Yeah, he always does. Peter Mamazelos, he's always looking dangerous. He's got good hands. And so I think the combo of him and Cookie's working quite well for us. They offer sort of a different skill set. But, yeah, tough as they come, young Pete. And he was Dion's teammate for the Maroubra Lions. And I've said it a couple of times already, but it's a good one. Pete said to me that when we wanted something done back in our Maroubra Lions days, we'd give the ball to Dion, and he would do it. And here's Paulie D, channel member. Hello, mate. Loving the live show. You've brought Bunnies TV a long way from the early days, and membership's booming. Well done, mate. And go to the Bunnies. Well, thank you, mate. And I like your little photo there of your little dog with his red and green jumper on, keeping warm there, keeping the kidneys warm. It's getting a bit cool now. So, yeah, you can become a channel member of Bunnies TV. It's only like $5 or $6 a month. It's not much. And I do put exclusive content up there. So, as an example, last night I shot some stuff during my night. It was about 5 minutes of video, and I put that up for members only. Sometimes I'll just leave it members only. Sometimes I'll let the members see it for the first day or 2 or a week, and then I'll open it up to the public. But it's a way of supporting me on the show because, as you can imagine, things cost money, and love your support because I love doing what I do. And I do put a lot of time into it, but, like I said before, again, you do a job you love, you never work a day in your life. So Jackie Jean, there she is. And this is Jackie Jean, who is the painter. Let's have another look at it, of this beautiful dot art, Aboriginal art. And it's a turtle art. And, and that's her with the family there. That's the big fella there. He's a former Rabbitoh, Jeffrey Ducker. You can't miss him. He could play too. Don't worry about that. He played in the 21s. And if it wasn't for a devastating knee injury, that he could have easily played first grade. I've got no doubt about that. He's as tough as they come. And my brother, Greg Maven, sent me a photo of the Botany boys out there having a barbie around at Broadley Oval. So shout out to all the botany Rams and all the volunteers who help out and all the junior clubs around the South Sydney area. And just while I got Jackie Sims's photo up there in that comment, I did speak to Uncle Joe Walker again a bit more about his art and what he does, and it was quite interesting. You know, he works with his daughters and he loves doing it, and he's been doing some dot art, but that's not really what his brief is. He's doing it because it's popular and his daughter said to do it, but he's got a different style, and he's an awesome artist, and he's an awesome bloke, and he was out there last night, and he was so proud of the fact that his jersey is out there being worn by the boys, and they won in his jersey last night, even better. So, yeah. Hello, Jack and Jeffrey and family, and thank you. And happy weekend, Mavo. Great win last night from Mick C on YouTube. So you can see there the people that got the different. That's Jack's on Facebook, Mick's on YouTube. So you can watch me live on both platforms now. Coming to you via StreamYard. And Michelle said, beautiful painting. So yes, it is. Yeah. And Uncle Joe, this is the sort of bloke he is. He's only met me a couple of times, and he invited me to come up and visit him up the coast. He lives out west of Grafton somewhere, and he said, you can come up anytime and I'll take you, take you fishing. And we'll go and have a look at the turtles. And I said, mate, that's such a lovely offer. I'd love to do that. So next time I'm driving up the coast, I'll try and head out with the missus and we'll go and visit Uncle Joe because, yeah, champion bloke, loves the rabbits. And yeah, he does some good work. Okay, so we've gone through most of the good players. I'm not sure why Big Tom didn't get onto the second half. That was a little bit of a mystery to us there that were watching the game, but that's probably just the way the game went. Now, a couple of more picks here. I did tell you I spent some time in the burrow, and here's a pick that Josh Kemp took. He takes one, most weeks, and there's some of the there's Mick Tasker with the helmet on there. He sings loud and proud, and I jumped in there with a few of the boys. I had to crop a few ears out to fit it on the screen. And also Greg Allen was out there with young Lucas and Juliet out there, and he took a photo. Now, both of those guys, Josh and Greg, write recap articles for bunniestv.au, and I really appreciate that they do that. So you've got Greg on the tunnel side of the field where he is there, I think. And yeah, he is because he's on that side. Writing from his perspective. And then you've got Josh in the burrow writing from the burrow side. And Josh does well because, like I said, I spent time with him last night. So he's leading that burrow, singing songs and chanting. But while he's doing that, he's analysing the game like a champion. Like we spoke about the footy, and he's on the ball, Josh. He knows, who's performing well. And sometimes he tells me stuff that I haven't even noticed out there. And here's one of their songs that I did enjoy as well.
Oh, South Sydney is wonderful. You'll never beat our 21 titles. Oh, South Sydney is wonderful. Oh, South Sydney is wonderful. Oh, South Sydney is wonderful.
And yes, we are wonderful. And I'll just get rid of Greg's picture there. We're multitasking here. Yeah, so South Sydney is wonderful, and it's a great experience there with those passionate fans in the burrow. And I've filmed a bit more stuff that I'll share a bit later. But yeah, it was a fun night at the footy, let me tell you. So we will move on because it is a Sunday. We'll let you get about what you want to do. The New South Wales Cup, they went down 32-24. But so I got there early. I got there at 5 o'clock. It was a long afternoon. And as soon as I sat down, Lenny Skelton scored a try right in front of me. So it was a good try to Lenny. And then Brent Hawkins, he was on fire with the boot. 4 from 4. Kicked the goal right in front of me. So there it was. So the second half, they were running the other way. So you know what? I thought I'd better go up the other end. And here's where I was sitting, right at the back, looking down to where the boys were running. And you can see there's 4 posts along that fence there. And you wouldn't believe it. The great man, Buddy Gordon, scored a try. This is a good try. They passed the ball out along the back line, and Buddy handles the ball. It goes back, offloads, comes back to Buddy, and the 8th wonder of South Sydney scores a try, but he scores it right behind one of these little posts. It could have scored anywhere else, but anyway, you'll see what happens.
Buddy Gordon.
So there he is, the 30-something, 6-something-year-old legend who's can still do it. Can still do what the young fellas are doing, running around out there. And the game got away from them. They played quite well and they scored some all right tries, but in the end, was a few too many defensive lapses. The Eels sort of ran away with it with some good tries. They were making too many line breaks, and that's what happened there. We'll move on to the flag. And we had a calling debut from Mr. Rob Bush, and I'll just bring up a photo. And he did such a great job. And that's Matt from the New South Wales Rugby League behind him. He's a good bloke too. But yeah, thank you very much again, Rob. And he just jumped on the call because Milo couldn't make it, and he nailed it. It was like he'd been doing it for years, and I really appreciate the fact that he came in and gave me a hand. He was champion, and yeah, I did enjoy that. The boys scored the first try through Louis Grosmy, but unfortunately that was the only try they scored. But we'll have a look at it. We were a bit unsighted where we were, and you'll see why, because there's bodies everywhere. Without the head-on camera, it was almost impossible to see who scored. But looking at the replay, you can tell it's Louis because they all get up and congratulate him. And unfortunately, I don't know what happened, but I was calling Louis Will for a little while. I was mixing him up with Will Araj. I had Will on the brain, but we all know it's Louis Grosmy who can play. The captain scored the first try, but like I said, it was the only one.
Parramatta just managed to hold South Sydney short. 5th and last. They'll play it back here. Grab it in by Doolan, and they're claiming here the try. The referee's going back, checking the sidelines, pointing to the spot. There it is. There's the first try of the game for South Sydney after 5 minutes and 19 seconds.
Yeah, so we didn't expect the Eels to come out and do what they did, but they were a pretty good side. So I don't know where that came from, because they'd only won 2 games previously, but they came out and put a score on. Now, a couple of things for us. Hazen Mellors made his return from injury. Now, he was a bit rusty at times, but he took this good catch, the former basketballer. This was, when he did this, I thought, oh, we're on air.
On the 5th tackle, that'll come down. Oh, well taken by Mellors.
Oh, what's he saying? So I think when he hit the ground, the ref might have saw a little knock on there. That's what we couldn't work that out at the time. And then the young Queensland big fella, Jason Halley, more good meters in the middle. So have a little look at his work.
Play back to Doolan.
There he is, big Jace, post contact meter man, and look at that.
Look at those meters straight up them.
Yeah.
That's what we want to see. How long here before half time? Complete the set here and put that kick in downfield. Good offload.
Halley. So, yeah, he could be a replacement for Thomas Burgess, young Jace, but we don't want to get ahead of ourselves just yet. So, yeah, like I said, thank you very much to Rob, and also to to young Kai, his son, who was there, and he you might have saw him in the intro. He gave us a little wave, and he's the smartest young fella I've met for ages. He's up there with JJ, who's been on the show as well, and he was switched right on. He was helping me and his dad out during the call. So just quickly at the captain's run, a young lady called Amani came and helped me out, and I've got a photo here. I've got the video. Here she is. So Latrell walked past, and Amani's in the front row there. Bunny TV, you know it. Yeah, so she is a sports journalist at university, and she had a good day out there at the captain's run, and she asked Coach Hornby a couple of questions, and I did tell him that she's a student, and he was quite good, let her have a couple of questions. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure she enjoyed herself out there. And there's a photo I had of young Hazen that's as he's walking off with his rat's tail. So welcome back, mate, and look forward to seeing you get some more footy under your belt. I think they've got the Tigers next week at Redfern Oval. Comments. So who won the Seiko watch? I'm not sure, Steve, which game you're talking about. If it's in the New South Wales Cup, well, you know, I was sort of just wasn't really. Let's have a look here. I'll bring it up. Who won the Seiko watch? Who was man of the match in the New South Wales Cup? Well, yeah, like I said, I was sort of on the back foot for most of the game. I did see Brent Hawkins make a couple of good tackles. And Karina Hazer, our German ambassador, has joined us all the way from Germany. Guten Tag to you. Hope the weather's all right up there in Europe. And Jackie said, love your work, mate. Well, thank you, Jack. Love you right back at you. Yeah. So we have got a bit of a break now. We've got the bye, so we'll get the 2 points at least on the weekend. Then we're into the Titans. Bunnies TV is brought to you by the Juniors Group of Clubs, George's Cameras, and also SEQ IT Services. For those that haven't seen my Jake Trindle interview, we are giving away Dan Payne's Heroes of Yesterday's books, 2 books, and also his footy card book. So all you got to do is leave a comment in that video wherever you watch it, and I'll put them in a barrel, and we're going to draw one out. So we've got the Heroes of Yesterday and the Heroes of Today here. Trell Mitt, Cam Murray. Hopefully they're back on the field together soon. Thanks everyone who has live chatted, and it's been fun. Sess Payne has jumped in and said, "G'day, Mavo. Good win by the boys last night and go the Bunnies." Yes, it was. It was a good win. I'm not going to say we're back yet, but look, the signs are good. You know, we can't complain. It was an improved performance. And I will leave you with one more rendition of this song that I did enjoy.